My Brother's Keepers is a vital podcast fostering brotherhood and open dialogue for Black men and boys. It tackles crucial topics like mental health, fatherhood, and criminal justice disparities, offering actionable insights. Discover how this impactful podcast inspires resilience and community upliftment, continuing a powerful legacy.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining My Brother's Keepers. I'm here, myself, Brother Scott here. This is my brother, Brother Dante. We're here to give you a good teaching today, and I hope you can tune in and get some out of what we're trying to say. Again, we say a lot of times that this is for a lot of us Black men and young Black boys as well. This is also for our sisters as well. And I want to be, very spontaneous when we conversate. And feel free to join in as we continue to discuss whatever topics that we have on the agenda today. I think this will be a awesome topic as well because in the community, this is such a topic that we really need to focus on and discuss when it comes to financial status and retirement, things of that sort. So walk with us as we have a little conversation tonight. Thank you for joining. Thank you, brother, again.
We here, appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, tonight this is episode 8. It is called Is Retirement Realistic? Especially for me, as I've grown up through different walks of life, from living struggle to living comfortable, I still have that I'm poor mindset to where anything can be ripped away from me at any given time. So I always try to stay very focused, very humble, and very ambitious in every decision I make when it comes to my finances and my lifestyle. So when it comes to this type of topic, I really want to make sure that we hit home to our peers, people in our community, and as well, put a light bulb in the youth as well, because it definitely helps. The younger you are, and you prepare young, the better it'll give you a cushion in your life. Now, don't get me wrong, we all have had, obstacles that have set us back and put us in hard positions, and you bounce back. But it's easier to bounce back when you have trained and practiced and built yourself in the mindset of preparing and learning how to handle issues. I don't know if y'all remember, but in 2008, when things went really, really bad with the economy, people was killing themselves. People was literally killing themselves. They was losing their houses, their jobs, and a lot of people that really didn't know how to adjust to that type of that quick change of their lives. That's one reason it's a gift and a curse, but I was blessed to have went through hard times to where I've never forgot how them hard times was, and things did go hard. So I know how to adjust, and I would know how to overcome, just based off of understanding diversity. So I always tell people, always have and never forget the times that you probably had those hard times, even though you might be in a good position in life right now. It can be always taken away from you at any given time. So I always stay awake to understand that, hey, just in case something happened, you're ready at any given time. So I feel like this is a very important episode when it comes to that. So my brother, this is the first topic. It's going to be eliminating debt with urgency. So my question for you is, why do you think people struggle with paying off debts?
I think that it's important, first of all, to understand what debt is. Yeah, we may know it by the defined definition as far as how we see it in everyday life.
Correct.
Being behind, getting buried in things like bills, all that, pretty much is the textbook definition for debt. One of the important things that we have to come to the knowledge of understanding is that debt, when you engage in debt, this is really an important thing that we understand from a behavior standpoint.
Correct.
Most people don't understand that this is a behavior issue when it comes to their money. The other 20% is knowledge, and 80% is behavior.
Correct.
When you see people how they deal with money, most of the time people who are in debt are people who have just the bad thoughts of how they handle their money, and this is a behavior trait when it becomes a constant practice, knowing that you have to make sure things need to be paid and taken care of, but yet you're spending fruitlessly on things, knowing that you have incurred debt. So this is a behavior problem. I believe Dave Ramsey also stated that it's a behavior issue as well. So to get it early in your training, as far as young kids, this is very important as well, if they can understand that it's a behavior problem. Now, the other 20% is understanding how to deal with debt. If you understand how to deal with debt and understand to maintain a positive behavior, how you conduct with your money, you can work miracles when it comes to climbing out of debt.
Correct.
And when you say doing it urgent, it first starts in the mind, knowing that you can get it done.
Correct.
And a lot of cases, people feel that they can't get it done.
Correct.
I think the average American in the household may have, I think it's like 44% may have just at $1,000 in their account. It's very important, even to a point to where you should have an emergency fund in your bank account with at least $500 in it, to where you can deal with situations. And most Americans actually do not have that as well in their emergency fund account. So all this boils down to is, do you really want to get it? Do you really want to get it done? And it is a behavior issue.
I agree. I agree with 1,000%. This is people. I'm gonna show y'all. This is my planner. It is from 2025 to 2030. It's a 5-year planner. 5-year planner. I used to get the 1-year planners, but I'm learning how to think further ahead, and I like to plan further ahead. So I was like, 1-year planners it hinders my ability to train and move and play chess with my life versus playing checkers. I feel like a 1-year planner is like playing checkers. A 5-year planner, now you're playing chess. So I like to be able to see how my life is visioned on paper in a 5-year span. Give myself a timeline, give myself mini goals of, hey, this needs to be achieved, or things like that. So I like to give myself goals, rewards as well. So the thing is, like he said earlier, I definitely agree. It's a trained behavior. We grew up, and I hate to say this, but I know, like in our community, the Black community, we was trained to learn how to play the game. If I don't see it, it's not their type game when it comes to debt. When we were young, you always just see, your mom or, family members and somebody, the debt people call you and answer your phone. So no, I ain't answer that. You know what I'm saying? So you get that bill, it's a bill, you don't even open it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, it took me a long time as an 18, 19, 20-year-old to actually train myself to open all my mail, because I was so trained badly to like, oh man, that's a bill, I ain't trying to see that right now. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the weekend. Don't let me get a bill on a Friday. Man, sometimes I probably threw that bill away on the Friday. I was like, man, it's a Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I was trained. I was trained to be like, hey, it's Friday. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to enjoy myself. I ain't paying. I would focus on the bills Monday. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was trained. But as I became more mature and evolved as a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I approach that totally different now. Like, I take them bills immediately, so I give me time to evaluate it, plan accordingly, justly, because they're gonna be there. It's not going nowhere. So that's another thing. Like, them bills ain't going nowhere. You might as well. You gotta face it. So it's like we have taught so many bad habits that it's like a curse, and it has jumped from generation to generation to generation to generation. Nobody has really broken that curse.
Right.
We broke the curse of how to make money. Like a lot of us now are able to get really good jobs because of education and things like that. So what we train ourselves is, okay, I just gotta make a lot of money. We ain't train ourselves to how to manage that money and pay off stuff.
Right.
What we did is say, hey, if I got a raise, I'm gonna go buy a bigger car. Instead of saying, hey, let me just work on this car that I got. You know what I'm saying? If I need to get a new engine, get a new engine. You don't have to buy another car. You can literally keep the car you got, get you another engine, put your engine in the car you got, right, and ride that car. Maintain the cars you got. You ain't gotta always upgrade your car. And that's we've been so prone now to like we gotta switch our cars like switching our hats and switching our shoes. But that's one thing I've also had to train myself in from looking at how the older school people did. They kept them old school cars. They just worked on them and rebuilt them and kept them. And you need another car, just get another car for just in case. But I'm not finna pay this car off. Go give you that car and get another car, and I got to start the cycle all over again. Right. You know, the math ain't mathing with that.
Why do you think? Well, why do you think people feel that they need to do that as far as jump into other expenses?
Our surroundings, lifestyle trends. Everybody's being taught now. I got to get the new. Versus dealing with what you got and being comfortable with what you have and be satisfied. You know, everything, we're so equipped, we've been so trained to change all the time. You know what I'm saying? I changed my hair, I changed my shoes, I got to change my car. You know what I'm saying? I got to change phones. You know, you get a different phone every year. Like everything, people have became inconsistent on their patterns of growth in life. You know, you change everything but your internal. You know, we don't work on our inside. We don't work on our body. We don't work on our mind. We don't read a lot of books. But we'll change the phone. We'll change, you know what I'm saying? We'll change the exterior of everything that we're doing around us, but we don't change nothing in here. And I hear that in our community a lot when they say, you know, I need to work on myself. I'm going to become a better me. The first thing they go do is they got to get some new clothes. Right. Or I gotta get some new shoes. I gotta do something with my hair, or you know what I'm saying. I gotta buy something. They never say what the interior of what they worked on, and that's where this is coming from. You can go get a new job, but that new job is not going to change your habits of how you handle your money. The interior, the mindset. I was blessed to learn how to manage my money before I started making money. You know, I learned how to manage money before I even had the money to count to say, hey, this is how I was in negatives, but I was learning how to manage. So even when I was like, it's funny because the most money, the most things that I was able to pay off was when I was making the least amount of money. When I was making the least amount of money, I got so much done. Why? Because I had taught myself before I really started making money on how to manage the little money that I got. So once I started making a lot of money, it was easier for me to manage and not blow it because I saw how, you know what I'm saying, on paper, how to distribute the money. What happens is when you give a person a lot of money that don't know how to move money on paper, they don't really understand that them pennies and the nickels and the dimes count. They don't realize it until they look at a checking account, but in about 2 weeks, and they wonder why they only got $7. And they was like, man, I just had $600. Well, guess what? You bought this and you bought this and that. And a lot of people really don't understand how a credit, when you use your debit card and your credit card, people don't understand how they process your cards, how money is distributed within 2 to 3 days. So You can have 300 and you still swiping that card. You go turn around, you go be in the negatives because you didn't really properly manage your money before you spend it. And that's one hustle that the bank bets on you doing. The bank loves when you go in the negatives. They love it. They love it so much now to where they're willing to let you go in negatives. They'll charge you, but they're willing to let you go into negatives. They'll give you some money. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you want to go negative? Cool. We'll let you go in negatives. You go have to pay it back. But hey, we got you.
Right.
So that's a hustle because they're making money off the fact that you don't understand that you're losing money in that portion of them hitting the negatives. Just because you're paying off, you're not saving nothing. And you're never going to save nothing that way.
Right.
But the overall bottom line for that topic is people got to realize that in order to get out of the struggle mindset, you got to be able to understand self-discipline and the internal work inside of here is what's going to correct that.
Yep, that's correct.
That's
right.
So the next one is, should we live or am I living? That's the next topic. Should we live or am I living? The question is there truth in the statement? You better enjoy it now. You can't take it all with you.
I think there's some truth to that, but we got to look at that word enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
What really does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can enjoy and still find yourself in debt, and when you enjoy too much and incur those type of debts, your debts can affect others. And it's important, I think, that you not only teach yourself but teach your young ones and your partner who you're with the importance of understanding debt. Goes back to the behavior, because even in that, you can incur debt even after death. A lot of people don't think that, but if you're enjoying too much spontaneously and not handling business, properly, that's not good behavior.
Correct.
And so, at the same time, you should be able to have a sense of joy in knowing what you can afford comfortably. If you're not in a place where you can do things comfortable, that word enjoy now becomes a big question, because how could you really say you're enjoying if you have not built things properly to be comfortable? You're enjoying, but you're about to leave others with debt. And so I believe that we have to analyze and watch how still the behavior is with a person while they're handling the money or whatever it is, but also be mindful how you do it can also affect others, and your over enjoyment.
Correct.
Because behavior still, is still vital and important. Yeah.
I agree. Totally agree. I'm gonna give a saying that you're probably familiar with. It's funny that me and you kind of read the same books, but even Dave Ramsey said this to me. Well, he didn't say it to me, but he read it. And
Yeah.
But he said, in a marriage or a relationship, one is going to be the spender, and one is going to be the saver. For some reason, it's like that. Somebody's going to spend and somebody's going to save. Some cases you do get a saver and a saver. I mean, that happens too. But on the majority, if we're talking in general, one is the saver, one is the spender. So with that being said, one is going to be should we live, and another one's going to be am I living. One is going to be saying, hey, hey, we enjoy ourselves. Let's go take a vacation. This and that. Another one's going to be like, I'm saying, I don't know yet. We need to take care of this and take care of that. So with that being said, we have a discussion to be solution based. We're just not gonna give y'all statements and stuff like that, and not give you a solution based to this type of situation, just in case you're encountering this. Make sure that both of y'all sit down do the numbers, calculate the numbers together, so both parties can see how the money looks, and set a goal. Set a goal. Be like, hey, um, put a debt in place. Like, hey, if we pay the, you tell your spouse, hey, if we get this debt paid off, then we'll do this. We'll enjoy and do this. This will be our reward for taking care of this. So what happens is you will take care of the am I living by taking care of your debts, and as well you enjoy yourself. So you'll have that balance that makes both people in the relationship or marriage, um, uh, pleased with the results of what they're trying to achieve. Right. Because I get that, you're not going to be all tight with your money all the time and the whole entire thing. We all get that. We're not saying that. What we're saying is that you got to create balance in how you spend your money. Be very aware of how much money you got to spend, and be aware when that moment needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? If you go somewhere and you're enjoying yourself, and this happens, just say y'all out of town for a weekend, and you got one more day left at this vacation, right? And y'all spending and you realize you didn't hit that mark of where y'all done spent enough. And you're like, man, what I'm saying? We in the moment, we just gonna live. No, don't do that. If you know you've already stand your ground on, hey, this is what we're gonna stop spending, you and I'm finna hold my brothers accountable. You as the head, the man, it's your time at that moment to stand ground and make sure you do not put yourselves in danger. Right. You do not jeopardize what y'all are putting in place and y'all have agreed upon. It is up to you to put your foot down and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? That was the stopping point. We need to go chill out. We're finna go to the hotel. We're finna just cuddle up, kick it, be romantic, massage or whatever. We done spending money at this moment. Right. We can't keep going just because you're in the moment. Don't as a head of a household, the worst thing you do is make decisions at the wrong time based off of your heart and your emotions. You got to use your logic. You got to understand as a lead that when things go wrong, and you're gonna be held accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? We can't say, hey, we the head, we the lead, but when things go wrong, we're like, what I'm saying, what was me? No. You got to stay firm and make tough decisions and uncomfortable positions when it comes to this type of situation. Right. Be aware of when things are getting too out of hand, and you got to slow it down. Don't just keep rolling off the cliff because the ride is good. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop. So with that being said, we need to live, but understand when you get older and you can't work no more, it's going to get yourself into a position to where two things can happen. You're going to put your kids or your grandkids in a bad position, or you're going to put yourself in a position to where you're going to allow the government or the system to dictate your lifespan. Because we all know once you get into like a certain nursing home or a certain standard of living, they can cut your lifespan short real quick. So it is very encompassing of you to understand that you need to put yourself in a position to where you live your last of your days the way that you have pictured or you have planned it to be. But understand those last days is really going to be dictated on how you manage your life right now. That's right. So our next one is going to be understand and plan according to the law of the land. Question is America still a safe bet for retirement?
It's a good question. Is America still a safe bet for retirement? I think that with how expenses are continuing to go up every year, and how it's sometimes seen that it's not a good comparison to um, even while working, that the pay is going up enough, and yet expenses are still going up in order for a person to live.
Right.
Things are always being threatened. You got things like Social Security that's constantly being threatened, and being taken away. Possibly by the time my kids get old, Social Security may not even be around.
Yeah.
So how things are constantly changing, and how and it goes to understanding government as well, and how things are being set in place. You have people that they just don't see things like how others saw it back in the days of why retirement, a certain status of retirement was important for a person to live, be able to get by. A lot of people don't think like that now.
Correct.
And I can't imagine what it's going to be like in another 20 years. The rich get richer, the poor get poor.
Correct.
If it's not the poor getting poor, then the middle class is staying in the same position. There's no real growth, even in the middle class area. The middle class is going to be considered almost poor, I believe, in the next few years, because how expenses are gradually getting higher.
That's correct.
Nobody's listening to the little people cry.
Correct.
But those individuals are yet making those decisions. This is why you have people who are planning things outside of the country, that are now seeing things and evaluating things outside the country, to where they may be able to feel a little bit more comfortable, because the U.S. dollar is more so than what other countries' dollar is in comparison. So you have people who are living in other areas after retirement. They're going there. I had a supervisor that I know. His wife worked in the cafeteria. He was a commandant as well, and on base. Both of them retired same time, worked those years, and they moved down to Panama and built a nice, beautiful home, and saved their money and doing very well. He said that they're going to live out their days there, and I could see why, because they were able to live like kings,
Right.
and queens down in those areas. And I know individuals who moved actually to Africa, who've done the same thing. I had a friend that worked with me, came to me in the middle of the night at work on the shift.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to leave my ticket flying out to Africa tomorrow morning. I'm like, what? And can't believe it.
Yeah.
But did it. Female did it on her own.
Yeah.
And living very well out there.
Oh yeah.
And to this day, she's been out there. I think this happened back in 2014. She's been out there since 2014.
Yeah.
And so. And I have those who ask me, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay in there? And it's tempting to move out,
Yeah.
into those to the islands specifically, Barbados, Panama, Ghana, those areas, and I can see why people are doing these things, you know, because they feel like they're more comfortable to live out their lives for retirement,
Right.
and a lot of people may look at that like that's strange, but yet when you look at people and how they struggle here after retirement, even before retirement, I can kind of see why they're doing it. In America, in a lot of ways, have kind of cramped the style of that old saying, "I can't wait for retirement."
Yeah. It's a different. Things have definitely changed when it comes to that saying.
Right.
Well, I would say I am, for one of the people that also plan on leaving probably a little bit after I retire. I'll probably stay I see myself maybe staying like another year or two, just to work out all the little kinks and stuff like that. But I do plan on leaving as well. I mean, I do plan on keeping like the stuff I have here that I have bought. just turn it over to, you know what I'm saying, like my son, because I know I want him to be an accountant. So that's really, you know, my projection with him, because I want him to be able to handle the money side of things. So that's one reason why my vision for him, especially he has a love for numbers, to put him in accounting. So, you know what I'm saying, I can pass on, let him manage the assets while I'm not here. I do plan, you know, coming back and forth a little bit, not a lot, but mainly letting him deal with all the stuff here. But yeah, I don't really see how a person of elder age will have the ability to sustain life here as life with everything going up, from property taxes, sale taxes, to whatever taxes that we may get in the near future that we're not even preparing for yet. That's what's to come. I rather put myself in a position to where things doesn't dramatically change the way it does here. Now, don't get me wrong. Other countries can also do the same thing, and that's why it's very important also for people to still have a plan B. Even if you do leave here, you better have a plan B from your plan B. Have a plan for that. That's why my plan B, if things don't work out there, I still got stuff here. So I still will have the ability to stay or go or stay or whatever I choose to please I want to do at that time. But always have a backup plan. You know, do not completely put your eggs in one basket when it comes to where you want to live the last of your days. But make sure you put yourself in a position where you can control and dictate that. That's the blessing that a lot of us want to have, but everybody can't have that unless you're being self-disciplined. You gotta be disciplined. It's gonna get uncomfortable. It's not gonna be the popular thing to do. But if you out here taking all these trips and going everywhere all the world and doing this and that, you're not gonna save no money. Yeah, it's just not possible. I know a lot of people, you know, we ride, you know, us, you know, we know, but a lot of people, you know, we ride on our VA money, like that's gonna last forever. We don't know if that's gonna last forever. Like, it might not. We might lose all that VA money in the next 5 years. You never know. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why I say I live in a poor man's mindset, to where, like, hey, if I put I'm not finna upgrade nothing. Everything I get, I'm keeping. I'm just gonna sustain it. But I'm not finna sell or get rid of nothing that I've already worked hard to get. It's mine, it's mine. You know what I'm saying? It's not no mine till now and get some. No, just gonna keep it and sustain it. And that's what people got to really truly accept, because we're getting in times where it's hard to earn money. It's getting real hard to earn money, and the benefits and the stuff that a lot of us get that we're blessed to have with pensions and disability and whatever we get, we gotta understand that you better have a purpose of why you're spending what we're spending, and is that an investment? Everything I try to put my money in, I want it to have some kind of investment or something. Even when I buy food now, like I try not to buy food that doesn't invest properly into my body to create something healthy in my body to help me produce more, make more money, be more energetic at work and things like that. So everything that I have to put my money on, it's an investment that's got to bring me some kind of return, a positive return, not no negative return. So be understanding how the laws of the land is going, because if you spend money and everything is going up, that's a lot of subtraction. Ain't that much addition going on. And there 24 hours a day is always going to be 24 hours in a day. So what you going to do? Because time don't stop, and time don't add up. Time is time. It never changes. Time is what it is, and is what you get. You got to make the best of it. So, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself when you want to, but I'm a simple man. I enjoy myself in the house in my four walls. I really don't have to fly, go nowhere, see new people. them people didn't want to come see me, so I need to go. I need to go see new people.
Right. Damn
So,
right.
so if they ain't came to see me, why I need to go see them?
Right. That's right.
So that's how I see it. You know, I enjoy the peace of the people I see from day to day, and I'm cool with that. And that's how I live. But bottom line, people, be smart, be humble, be self-disciplined, and understand your surroundings. And that's it, my brother.
All right.
On to you.
All right. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Is retirement realistic or a reality? It is, but we need to always keep in mind how we deal when it comes to our finances. It needs to be a daily reality check, and these are things that we have to govern within ourselves and within our families as well. Make sure we have a positive practice, again, behavior-wise, understand, gain the knowledge, but also know how we need to work things when it comes to that. Because at the end of the day, when we fail, you know, it not only hurts you as an individual, it hurts others as well.
Correct.
So know what we need to do at all times. Be resilient. I always say, even when it comes to finances, things like that. Yes, sometimes you go out, you may splurge and do a little bit, but you know, like he said, there needs to be somebody there to buffer to say, hey, you know, this is what has gotten us in trouble before. I mean, and it'd be a reminder. Even when it comes to relationships, we need to know who we're dealing with when it comes to relationships. A lot of times we go into the relationship, men, you're looking at the physical of the woman, and the woman, I don't know what the hell you're looking at, but you know, whatever it is, but you need to be understanding and see how people handle with money,
Correct.
Things of sort, because ultimately, if you're trying to court a person and they courting you, these things can affect you once you tie with them. And if their behavior is bad when it comes to money, which we said earlier, dealing with debt is 80% behavior issue, 20% of the knowledge. And if you have somebody who has a bad behavior when it comes to dealing with things like that, in time, it will affect you. It will affect you. So understand how we all need to be well polished in these areas.
Oh yeah.
But again, brother, we thank you for.
Hey, that was one more thing, man.
Yeah.
Something just hit my heart, man. He said something that hit my heart. I gotta say it.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't even got nothing to do with this topic, but we finna have us a loving moment. This is finna be a loving moment, okay, people? I just gotta talk to y'all about this. And this is regularly to my brothers and you know what I'm saying when it comes to this. One of the biggest things about leadership is that we have to evaluate and understand protection is key to our family and our loved ones and people we're in relationship with and things like that. And what I mean by that is, it's just lately I hear this theme so much on TV, on the radio, everywhere. Everybody's letting their wives and their girlfriends and stuff go on these foreign countries by themselves, and it blows my mind because I'm starting to realize, like, I don't think people understand reality. And what I mean by that is, I don't think we understand how dangerous the world is. I think we have gotten so comfortable in America that we have turned a blind eye on danger. We don't realize that people get kidnapped, men and women in America, every day. Right. I'm pretty sure right now, if you look somewhere, somebody got kidnapped and killed today in each state. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even saying I'm saying in each state somebody got snatched up. Like, we got to, as men, and I'm putting this on the men, we got to stop falling for these trends and society of being men and telling our women, you're not going to no country with your girlfriends by yourself. Not happening. I'm never going to allow my wife to go no country by herself with no gun, no me around. I don't understand that. In society, this is crazy. This is so crazy. So my wife in another country, she called me. We talking, we laughing, we giggling. Somebody kicked the door in. She screaming. What I supposed to do? Go book a ticket? I gotta go book a flight. I gotta go to the airport. I gotta wait on the airport. Then I gotta get on the plane. I'm flying at least 5 to 6 hours, and that's minimum. Yeah. Then I gotta get off the plane. I gotta go through customs. By the time my wife is already dead, you know what I'm saying, or sold to somebody. She either dead or sold to somebody.
I'm sorry, man.
You know what I'm saying? She sold to somebody. I don't understand that. Like, they have movies that show. There's a movie called Taken 1, 2, and 3. They make the only way they try to make that movie so realistic. This dude was a specialist killer. That's the only way that movie made it realistic to a way he was able to get his daughter back. Cause ain't no coming me, you go finna go get our kid from another country. We just go found her out of nowhere. Like that dude had major connections and all that to find his kid in another country. None of us is going to find our wife or our girlfriend once she gets snatched up. Let's just be real. If she gets snatched up, it's done. It's done. Because a lot of these countries aren't pro-America. So they're not going to help like that. You know what I'm saying? They go do the bare minimum because it's not theirs. And most of them are corrupted. So a lot of them be in on it anyway. So we got to start waking up, brothers, on this whole, I'm finna let my woman go here and go there and go there, and I'm at home chilling and think she's safe. How's she safe? You know what it is? We get so caught up in the celebrities where they be in Dubai and in China and Australia. I don't think y'all realize, but these folks, when they go to the country, they got bodyguards. They got security. They have protection with them. We think we can do that, and we don't got no protection. That's right. We don't got a gun, a knife. We ain't even got a toothpick. We don't got nothing. But you comfortable let your woman go because you trust her. It ain't got nothing to do with trust. It ain't got nothing to do with trust. I love her. This and that. No, you don't love your woman if you let her go out there by herself. You can't defend her. You can't protect her. You can't evaluate her surroundings. One of the biggest things my godfather taught me as a man always supposed to go walk the scene, check out the scene, make sure the scene is safe before your woman even go. Before my woman go into a store with me, I'm ahead of her so I can see if everything is good and clear. Never gonna allow my woman go in a place that I know is potential of danger and it's unknown. That is crazy. Just to prove what? You know what I'm saying? Prove her that I love my woman. You know, I trust her. You know what I'm saying? She was beautiful. Man, listen. The woman gets snatched, the kid out, her friends calling you and saying, you woman gone, what you gonna do? Because they can't do nothing either. They gonna call you, ask you what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? All that sounds good and cute when things are good. It don't sound cute and good when it has happened. You see what I'm saying? We can talk to what is, but if it happens, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because right now, this is a one-way conversation. Because the only people that has this talk is people that are still safe. The people that got snatched up and killed and sold, you can't talk to them because they're not around. But I bet you, if you could talk to these people that are dead, and they got killed, and they got kidnapped, and they got sold, I promise you, all of them would say, I wish I would have thought twice before I got on that plane. So, brothers, ladies, y'all gotta start checking this whole I'm gonna go to these countries by myself and, free. No, y'all gotta stop that. But I'm sorry, but I give y'all that love on that one because it's something he had said about the flight. I was like, yeah, I gotta talk about that because it's been hitting me from a lot of directions and that needed to be discussed. But, yeah.
Season 2?
Yeah. We're gonna talk more about that, but yeah, that's definitely something that we gotta check the fellas, check the ladies on that, man. That I'm letting y'all know ain't nothing cool about that.
That's right. That's it. That's right. Again, we thank you all for joining. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. We thank you all for joining, and I hope it was some knowledge we have both given you. And this is what we do on Tuesdays and Saturdays, same time, really 6:45. We got a little bit started late. But when we come together, we want you to fellowship with us in these topics. Feel free to drop your comments and feel free to share the knowledge. And we thank you all again. Again, you all have an excellent night. All right, brother.
All right, brother.
All right, peace, God.
Peace.
All right.
Peace.